What's going on, YouTube? Got another knife review here for you. Today we're going to be looking at the Direware Hyper90. This Direware is maybe outside of my Hoback A10 and my A15. This is, I think, one of the first customs, one of the few customs that I've gotten direct from the maker. So direct from Eric at Direware. So it's definitely really excited about this knife, and I still am. I love this. I absolutely love this knife as a quote unquote small small carry. And I say small because this is a 3-inch blade. So if you guys know Direware, the different Direware folding models, he used to have another one that actually is no longer listed. I can't remember what it was, but it was a really interesting one. It actually had a hollow or a hole, large hole in its frame, and a kind of a dagger grind blade. That was actually really cool. But anyway, typically he's got the solo model. Right now they're at the V4 version 4. They used to have the V1, V2. I don't remember a V3, but they're currently at the V4. And basically, the shape and everything was pretty much the same. I think they have a flipper option, and then the hardware is a little bit different now. So, as well as the blade steel. Currently, Eric is using Bowler M390 as his main stock for all of his blades. So this one being new is featuring Bowler M390. This one being a V2 model of the Direware is S35 VN blade steel. And if again, about Direware, they offer all these different finishes, whether it be carbon fiber scales or dark tumbled or satin finish or stone wash or whatever. For mine, I chose to go with the dark tumbled acid blade and then dual titanium frame handles. Sorry about that. And then bronze anodized with the tumbled finish. So I just love that, just that dark stone wash, acid wash look. I think bronze really matches well with the black blade, those kinds of things. So the Hyper 90 also features a .19, so 190 thou blade stock. Like I said, M390. But it looks extremely thin right here, and that's mainly due to the fact that it's being overshadowed by the thickness of these handle scales. So these handle scales measure out, at least when I measured them with the calipers, at a 1/4 inch, so 0.25 inches of titanium. So that's a lot of material that you're getting from this knife. This really nice custom pocket clip that they have, similar to his pocket clip on the Solo. And then on the back, he's got a 440C stainless steel. I have actually taken this apart and I have flame treated this back spacer so that it matches the back of the knife, because normally it comes with this silver color, and that silver contrast against this dark bronze really didn't do it for me. So I decided just to flame treat that 440C, and I think it came out really nice actually. I actually did as well try to put the XM24 titanium standoffs in here, and I kept that on for a while, but then decided to go this route with the backspacer as it was intended, and I definitely like the look of it. Didn't really save that much weight. Maybe, I think it was about 0.7 ounces, so actually maybe that was quite a bit of weight. Overall weight on this knife is 10.79 ounces. So this is actually my heaviest knife in my entire collection. I believe it I might be mistaken. I'm not sure if it's heavier than the Raja 2, but it'd probably be pretty close, given that the Raja 2 is, full handle of grivery versus, full huge slabs of titanium. Size comparison against the Hoback, 3 1/4 inch blade. This is the A10. And then you got the Hinder 3.5 XM24, also bronzed. I bronzed these scales myself. So there's a little comparison. So it is slightly shorter than the rest of these blades. So that's why I say, you know, it is a smaller blade, but it is just a huge chunk of metal in your pocket. So something to consider, you know, in terms of your purpose or use of these knives. This knife is, I want to say it is extremely ergonomic in the sense that it offers a really good grip, and you know, even choking up on this choil right here, you can really do a lot of fine precision work. One thing I'll say is because the grip, and I've been noticing this more as I carry it, because this grip is so incredibly thick, definitely fills up your palm, but what ends up happening is that these edges, even though they are rounded off, they do start to kind of dig in at your finger. So if you were to squeeze, really bear down on this grip, I could see how it could get somewhat uncomfortable, you know, as you're doing some hard cutting or whatnot. That being said, the shoulder on this bevel is not, you know, it's not the thickest out there, as opposed to, like, you know, this Direware or say the Crusader Forge that I just did a review on, or my Sniper Blade Works. But you know, so it does slice very well, and Eric did a wonderful job of sharpening this knife. That aside, it is extremely smooth. I think this by far in my collection is the best flipper. This is most reminiscent of the R.J. Martin Q36 is what I've heard, and I've never handled a Q36 before, never flipped one, but when you compare it in terms of the sound, that little whoosh sound that you get, you know, when you do a Hinder, you know, it's definitely nothing awe-inspiring. The Hobacks with the HRD, you know, definitely whip out quite nicely, but the detent, you know, is not the best. You know, if you're to come down here, it's not bad, and I've adjusted the HRD, so I mean this one flips out nicely and quite hard. The Solo as well, you know, when I flick it out, I mean this is this is a crazy thwack. So as a thumb stud deployment, it comes out extremely fast. But this one, I mean, this is just lightning fast. And you definitely feel the weight of the blade, and that chunk is a very satisfying sound. So this is the closest that I can relate to, you know, with all those guys flipping the Q36. One of these days, you know, maybe I'll have the good fortune of handling one of those knives, but you know, for the time being, this is the closest thing that I can get to that kind of flipping action. The Bodega as well, I think is probably one of my favorite flippers that I own. One of my favorite knives that I own, actually. And I would say that flipping action is somewhat comparable, but it definitely doesn't have that same kind of ka-chunk like you do with the Hyper90. So yeah, as an everyday EDC, I think this knife is for me, you know, because I like, you know, having large knives, very capable knives, I like it. You know, I definitely like it as an EDC. It's very comfortable in jean pockets. It actually doesn't get in the way too much. It's definitely not going to be the same as, you know, a small Sebenza, which I'll go grab really quick. You know, so if you're measuring this in your pocket compared to this, you know, if you're the kind of person that really likes this kind of knife in your pocket, you know, then it's just completely different, you know, usage of these knives. It's, you know, this has actually got a larger or longer blade edge, I think. I mean, this one has a little bit more belly, but yeah, I don't know, completely different feel, in hand and in pocket, So that's not taking anything away from the Spenza, the small Spenza, but yeah, I mean the Hyper 90, there's just a certain kind of satisfaction that you get, with that kind of knife in your pocket. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling here. But the Hyper 90 is an absolutely fabulous knife. I just got an order or 2 orders for 2 more solo knives from Eric, and I'm very excited to get that in a year or a year and a half. So we'll see how that turns out. But anyway, that's the Direware Hyper 90. Let me know what you guys think on the comments down below. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you guys on the next vid. Take care. Bye.